Macrobiotic diet versus raw food diet. Which is better? That is what I'm going to talk about today, so stick around. My name is Sachiaki Takamiya, and I am the author of Ikigai Diet, which is a Kindle book that I published recently. It is the secret of Japanese diet to health and longevity. Now, today, I would like to talk about macrobiotic diet versus raw food diet. Now, both macrobiotic diet and raw food diet are very popular, and they are both healthy diets. Yes? So which is better? What do I think of the two diets according to the point of view of Ikigai Diet? Now, both diets are very similar. The fact that they are both whole food, plant-based diets. In other words, vegan diets. Not everybody who practices the raw food diet is a vegan, but I think many of them are vegan, and also macrobiotic people too. I mean, some of them eat fish occasionally, but they usually don't eat meat, eggs, or any kind of a dairy product. So they're pretty much vegan people. Okay, so they are similar that they both eat organic food, whole food, plant-based food, and so on. However, there is a big difference between the two diets too. And this difference is almost a kind of opposite because, for example, the raw food diet, people don't cook food. They eat 75% of their food raw, yeah? And while macrobiotic people, they cook most food because they regard raw food to be rather in. In macrobiotic diet, they always think of in terms of the food is yin or yang, and they try to keep the balance between the two. So they avoid eating food that is extremely yang or extremely yin. And they often consider raw food to be in, especially tropical fruit. And a lot of people who practice raw food diet eat tropical fruits such as bananas and mangoes and stuff like that, which are considered to be extremely in according to the macrobiotic diet. But people who eat raw food think that you can gain natural enzymes from eating food raw, but if you cook, you kill the enzymes, therefore it is healthier to eat food raw. Now, so they are kind of opposing ideas, but they are both good and both popular among health-conscious people. And some people have recovered from some serious diseases such as diabetes by practicing both diets too. All right. So what do I think of it? And I'm gonna just get back to myself. Now, instead of saying which is better, I'm going to talk about it from certain aspect. Now, the first aspect is Shindo Fuji, which is a Japanese concept meaning eating food locally and seasonally. Yeah. Both macrobiotic diet and Ikigai diet share this concept of Shindo Fuji, and we try to eat food locally and seasonally as much as possible. So from this point of view, raw food isn't always good because a lot of people who practice raw food diet eat tropical fruit or vegetables and fruits which are not grown in your region. For example, you know, I know a lot of people use avocado in your salad, but avocados are grown in more like a tropical zones, and they are not grown in the temperate zone. So if you live in the temperate zone, eating tropical fruits and tropical vegetables are not really Shindo Fuji. Yeah, it is better for you to eat the food, and it be better for you to eat the food which are locally grown and in season. So there are actually 2 points about Shindo Fuji. It is good for the environment and it is good for your health. Now for the environment, now when you think about the food mileage, yeah, if you consume food that is growing in your area, then you need less energy to transport food, therefore it is environmentally friendlier. Also, it encourages a local economy and local agriculture, which is based on polyculture. You grow all kinds of crops and vegetables in one area, while globalized agricultural system is more like the system of monoculture, where you grow one type of crop in one huge land, such as wheat or corn. Or in the case of plantations in the tropical regions, you might grow only bananas or big land of coffee growing area and so on, which is actually damaging the local traditional style farming, because people in the past practiced the polyculture or more like a self-sufficient style of farming, and they could produce food for themselves. But now they are using all those land to export the food to other countries, and they don't have land to grow their own food. And their economy is very much depends on the globalized economy. So personally, eating locally grown food, you are supporting your local economy and you are becoming more independent from the globalized system. Therefore, it is environmentally friendlier. And also it is good for your health. Yeah, because local vegetables contain local bacteria, which include local enzymes too. So now the idea of eating food raw is that you can get more enzymes. But if you are eating food from far away from you, you are not getting local enzymes. And for your body is kind of adjusted to your environment. And if you eat the food in the same bioregion, then you have the type of bacteria and enzyme which are most suitable for your body. Yes, so that point of view, probably macrobiotic diet is better than the raw food diet because macrobiotic diet also practices Shindo Fuji. Yes. Now, let's look at the enzymes, because I did talk about enzymes now, right? So they say, I mean, the people, the raw food people say that by cooking food, by heating food, you are destroying enzymes, therefore it is better to eat food raw, which is true. So I do agree with that. It is maybe better to eat a lot of raw food in that sense. However, that's not the only way of getting enzymes. For example, in macrobiotic diet, they eat a lot of fermented food. And fermented food contain a lot of enzymes as well. So you can get enough enzymes by eating fermented food. But that's not yet. So both eating raw food or eating fermented food, you are adding enzyme from outside to your body, but your body already have enzymes, which are called digestive enzymes or metabolizing enzymes. Now, by adding other enzymes into your body does not increase the enzymes you already have. Yes, so you need to think about how to conserve the enzymes in your body. Yes, and one action to do it is like chewing. Yes, therefore, in macrobiotic or in Japanese traditional dietary culture, we stress the importance of chewing. We need to chew a lot of times. However, when you eat food like fruit and, yeah, like fruit, for example, some like bananas, especially, very soft. So you probably don't chew so much, or you kind of forget about chewing. And even though you're getting enzymes, you are not conserving your internal enzymes by not chewing. Yeah, as a matter of fact, what is important is not so much chewing, but mixing the food with your saliva. Yes, saliva helps your digestion so that it doesn't give too much work to digestive enzymes when the food is broken down in your stomach and intestines and so on. And so in that sense, I cannot really say macrobiotic or the raw food is better. Both are, whatever you practice, you need to think about that. Yeah. Therefore, the best way is to eat a lot of raw food, but also you eat fermented food, and then you chew a lot and you mix your food with your saliva. Yes. Another aspect that I'm going to think about is the diversity of food. I believe in diversity, and it is better to eat a variety of food because different food have different nutritional values. Yes, if you're eating only one type of food, then the kind of nourishment you get is limited. And we have things called mago wa yasashi, which is a common concept in Japanese diet. Yeah, mago wa yasashi means eating a lot of beans, eating a lot of seeds and nuts, eating a lot of seaweed, and eating a lot of vegetables, eating a lot of fish, and eating a lot of mushrooms, and eating a lot of potatoes. Potatoes means regular potatoes, sweet potatoes, taros, and so on. So having a variety of food will give you a balance in your body. The problem with a raw food diet is because you try to eat 75% of the food raw, that means the type of food you can eat is limited. Yes, for example, it is quite difficult to eat beans because you need to cook most beans to be able to eat. And it is also difficult to eat some potatoes. I mean, you can eat taro raw. Yeah, but other potatoes you need to cook. And vegetables too. You can eat some vegetables such as lettuce or tomatoes, cucumbers, and stuff like that raw, but other vegetables may be better to cook. So by cooking food, you can expand your choice and you can include more variety of food in your diet. So in that sense, I think macrobiotic diet is better than the raw food diet as well. Another thing about, it's not part of mago wa yasashi, but grains. Grains are crucial, especially brown rice, yes? And it's a pity if you by not being able to cook, that you cannot eat a lot of grains. I mean, there are some grains that you can eat raw, like oats, for example. If you soak oats with water or soy milk, then oats become soft enough to be able to eat. So that's possible, but a lot of other grains you need to cook. And some people who practice raw food diet avoid eating brown rice because you need to cook to eat them, which is very pity, because brown rice is a very balanced food and it has a detoxification mechanism. It detoxes your body much more than any other grains, better than oats in that sense. So which would you choose, to eat the raw grains, or eating grains which has more benefit, even though you have to cook them to be able to eat? Yeah. So just in terms of diversity, I wouldn't say macrobiotic diet, has a lot of because there are a lot of food that you can't eat as a macrobiotic too. So I wouldn't say that, but anyway, to be able to eat variety of food is crucial in Ikigai diet. Yes. So in that sense, both are strict. Whether you practice macrobiotic diet or raw food diet, they are rather strict diet. Therefore, there are a lot of foods that you cannot eat. And that, I think, is a problem in terms of including all kinds of food. It is better to have your doors open. Yes. And another thing is you have to limit your social life. Yes. When you live, like often you're invited to your friends and for dinner and parties and stuff like that. But if they serve food that is not in accordance with your diet, then you have to say, oh, I'm sorry, I can't eat that because it is heated, or I can't eat that because it's too young or too in, and so on. And then that's okay too. I mean, that's your choice. I mean, if you want to do it, that's okay. And you can also choose to mix only with people who practice the same diet as you do. And that is also possible. But if you want to do, I mean, to live, you want to do a lot of things too. And then if you have a freedom to be able to mix with variety of people, then you will gain more experiences in general. And sometimes you learn a lot from people who have different perspectives. And so by limiting your diet, especially in a social setting, sometimes you're limiting your opportunities to grow as a person, which is a pity. And yeah, so in Ikigai Diet, we believe that 70% of what you eat count, not 100%. Therefore, you don't need to be so strict about what to eat and what not to eat. As long as you have a basic healthy diet, time to time, which means like 30% of the time, you can eat something you're not supposed to. And for me, it is so much easier to socialize with others if I don't have to restrict my diet on social occasions. All right. So then what kind of food should we eat? What is a good way to gain the benefit of macrobiotic diet and raw food diet in Ikigai Diet? I can see the benefit of raw food, therefore eat raw vegetables and raw fruit as much as possible. Maybe 30% of the time. Yeah, because if you eat a lot of fermented food, you can gain enough enzymes. So I don't think you need to eat raw food 75% of the time. And if you limit that to 30%, then maybe it is possible to find vegetables and fruit which are locally grown and in season. And also, depending on the season, you want to eat different food. Like in summer, you can eat more raw food because it is hot outside and you need to cool your body. But in the winter time, on the other hand, you want to eat more cooked warm food because it's cold outside and you want to warm yourself up. I mean, naturally, you feel like that. For example, I mean, I sometimes have cereal in the morning, and in the summertime, I like to eat muesli, cold muesli with soy milk. But in the wintertime, I want to eat porridge, yeah, oatmeal, the cooked oatmeal, because that's how I feel like. So your body naturally desires something that is suitable to you. Therefore, if you listen to your body, what your body wants, then naturally you are you're getting the right diet, which will benefit your health. All right, and yes, eat whole grain as much as possible. Brown rice, oats, buckwheat, yeah, regardless of whether you can cook them or not. I mean, if you can eat them raw, such as like oats, try eating them raw. But if you have to cook them to eat, still eat a lot of brown rice. And eat mago wa yasashi. A lot of beans. And beans are very good. And especially natto. Natto is fermented soybeans. And I personally think this is the king of the food. It's if I have to choose one food that is the healthiest, I would choose natto. And also, natto has a certain bacteria which will help your intestines and to creating a good environment within your intestines is the most crucial thing according to the Japanese natural medicine. And foods like natto and other fermented food is very good to create a good environment in your intestines. And also dietary fiber. Dietary fiber is very good. So food like brown rice, beans, carrots, daikon radishes, burdocks, sweet potatoes, taros, seaweeds, and sesame seeds, squashes, corns, and broccoli. They are the type of food which contain a lot of dietary fiber. And so eat those foods as much as possible. Some of them you can eat raw too. And then chew a lot. Yes. You don't need to chew as much as 100 times. I think that's a little too many. You can maybe chew 50 times or even 30 times is probably enough. Because if you chew too much, then you can damage your jaw. The point is not the act of chewing, but mixing the food with your saliva. Yes. So when you drink smoothies, for example, in the morning, because you can't really chew a smoothie, right? But you can kind of drink smoothie and just keep it in your mouth for a long time, and you kind of like when you taste the wine, yeah, to make sure that it mixes with your saliva before actually drinking it into your gut. And another word, you want to help digestion process so that you can conserve digestive enzymes when the food is broken down in your stomach or in your intestine. So in the chewing process, you try to break down the food as much as possible. And there's another thing you can do, that is not to eat too much. Yes. So we have a saying called hara hachibunme, which means stop when we are 80% full. So you can actually stop eating when you're 60% full or even 40% full too. Yeah. Do not fill yourself. Yes. Give some space in your stomach. And also, sometimes gives breaks to your stomach and intestines. So you can skip a meal. You can skip lunch, for example, once a week. Or you can do 1 day fast once a week or once a month and so on. Well, whenever you feel you're full or you don't need to eat, then you can skip meals, and then it gives plenty of breaks to your stomach and intestines. And the last thing, and the most important thing, is to enjoy eating. Enjoy your social life, because social, you know about the blue zones and the people who are the happiest and healthiest in the world. And one element of the people in the blue zones, that they have a good social life. They have lots of friends and communicate with their friends and family members and lot. And so a social occasion is very important to make you happy and healthy. So just enjoy your social life. So occasionally allow yourself to have some pleasures. You know, you can drink wine if you like, yeah, or even meat. I mean, I wouldn't recommend you eating meat a lot of the time, but just time to time. Maybe it's better for you to, easier for you to socialize with others. And the bottom line is to reducing the consumption of meat, yeah, is crucial. Not necessarily stopping it completely, because the easier the diet is, the more people will be able to practice it. So the end result is probably you'll be consuming less meat as a whole, as the the population of, let's say, 1 million people. If you have a strict diet, only a few people can follow it. Therefore, a fewer people will be not eating meat, and more people will be eating meat. So by making a diet easier, actually the end result will be bigger. That's my opinion anyway. Yes. So the bottom line is macrobiotic diet or raw food diet, neither is better, it's just different. But you don't need to follow them strictly. And according to Ikigai Diet, enjoying food, enjoying life is the most crucial thing. And you kind of find a diet which allows you to do it. All right, so I hope you enjoyed today's video, macrobiotic diet versus raw food diet. And yeah, if you want to know, if you want to find more about Ikigai Diet, please, please read the book. It's a Kindle. It's only available on Kindle, but you can find everything about Ikigai Diet there. Okay, so thank you very much for watching today, and I'll see you in the next video. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye for now.